Hello and welcome to the third session on arches and cable and myself Vahiniyam of GEC Haveri. So in the last session we have discussed about analysis of segmental arches which supports at same level, and in this session today we are going to study or analyze a 3-hinged semicircular arch which supports at same level. So a semicircular arch will be half of a circle with its hinges at the supports at both the springing levels as well as at the crown. So let ABC be the springing level and C be the crown. Let L be the span of the semicircular arch. Let H be the rise of the arch. So if you complete the circle with O as the center and ABC forms the semicircle of the circle, let R be the radius of the semicircle, or let R be the radius of this circle. Okay. So if you can observe here, so the radius is equal to the rise of the arch as well as the diameter of the circle is equal to the span of the arch. Okay. So let E be any point on the rib of the arch. Either it may be on the AC portion or it may be on the BC portion. Let X and Y be the coordinates of this E from the center O. That is, X is the horizontal distance measured from the center line and Y is the ordinate of E from the springing level. So from the properties of circle, so the radius of the circle is given by, so as from the figure it is clear that rise of the arch is equal to radius as well as half of the span, that is L by 2. So the diameter is equal to span, therefore radius is equal to half of the span, L by 2. And ordinate at E is given by YE is equal to root of R square plus X square minus root of R square minus L by 2 whole square. Whereas here R is equal to L by 2, if you substitute into this equation, this second term will be vanished. Therefore, YE will be reduced to only root of R square minus X square. So this is the equation to be used to find the ordinate of any point on the rib of the semicircular arch, and rise as well as radius is equal to half of the span. And also if this point E is making an angle of theta with respect to this OC member, OC center line, so then sin theta is given by X by R. So we know that this theta is going to be used in the calculation of normal thrust and radial shear. So sin theta is calculated by using X by R, opposite by hypotenuse. So these things you have to keep it in mind to solve a semicircular arch which supports at same level. So that is, rise is equal to the radius as well as half of the span, and ordinate of any point is given by root of R square minus X square, where X is always measured from the center of the circle, and also sin theta is equal to X by R. So let us solve a numerical problem on this one. So let us take a problem. A 3-hinged semicircular arch of radius 10 meter carries a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter over the whole span. Find reactions, maximum bending moment, normal thrust and radial shear at 5 meters from the left support. So let us consider a semicircular arch hinged at the springing levels as well as at the crown. So the radius, the arch is of radius 10 meters, means the span should be 20 meters, and the rise is equal to the radius, therefore it is equal to 10 meter. So it carries a UDL of 50 kilonewton per meter. So it is subjected to UDL of 50 kilonewton per meter over the whole span. So this UDL is acting for the entire 20 meter length. So for this we have to find the reactions, bending moment, that means we have to draw the bending moment diagram, as well as we have to find normal thrust and radial shear at 5 meter from the left support. So to find the reactions, let us assume HA and VA as the reactive components are of end A, and HB and VB as the reactive components at end B. So let us apply the three equilibrium conditions. First, let us apply sigma Fx equals 0, which implies HA minus HB is equal to 0, that is equal to HA equals HB. Okay. Next, let us apply sigma Fy equals 0. So in turn, it implies VA plus VB, they are acting in the upward direction, so upward forces are taken as positive. So VA plus VB minus, this is a UDL, so convert it into point load, so intensity into length over which it is acting, so that gives the magnitude of the equivalent point load. So VA plus VB minus 50 is the intensity, into length is 20 meter. So that will be equal to VA plus VB is equal to 1000 kilonewton. 1000 kilonewton. So take this as equation 2. Next we will apply sigma MA is equal to 0. So that means take moment of all the forces about A and equate it to 0. So moment of HA about A is 0, and moment of HB about A, that is also 0, because HA and HB, they are in line and they are passing through point A. Therefore the perpendicular distance is 0. Therefore the moment due to VA, HA and HB are 0. So next we have been left with VB and the UDL. So let us take the moment now. Minus VB into 20, minus, because it is, this VB is inducing anti-clockwise moment about A, therefore minus VB into 20 meters. This perpendicular distance is 20 meter, and then this UDL 50 into 20, that is the equivalent point load, and that point load will be acting exactly at the center of the length. Therefore 50 into 20 into 10. So the perpendicular distance, if you convert this into point load, it will be acting at the center. So the perpendicular distance from A is 10 meter. So therefore 50 into 20 into 10. So if we equate it to 0, so the value of VB will be equal to 500 kilonewton. So you can directly calculate, because of the symmetry, VA and VB will have the same reactive components. So total load is 1000 kilonewton. So that will be equally shared by VA and VB. Therefore VA and VB will be both equal to 500 kilonewton. Okay. So next we'll calculate the horizontal thrust. So to calculate horizontal thrust, the additional equation is bending moment at C is equal to 0. So bending moment means either you can consider the left part or the right part. So in this we will consider the left part, because in the last case we have considered the right part. So now we will consider the left part, because the given problem is symmetrical. Whether you consider left or right in this problem, it will give the same. It will be same. Okay. So there will not be any reduction in equation. Okay. So you will have the same equation whether you consider left or right for this problem, whereas in the previous problem we can avoid the point load if you consider the right part. Therefore we have considered right part in the last problem. Okay. So now we will apply bending moment at C is equal to 0. So to the equation is bending moment at C, we have considered the left part, therefore we have mentioned it as left, and we have equated it to 0. What is the equation when we apply bending moment at C is equal to 0? Means this VA is inducing sagging moment, sagging. So this VA is inducing sagging moment about C, therefore VA into 10. Okay. So that will be positive. Okay. Sagging means always the upward forces will cause sagging bending moment only, and downward forces will cause negative bending moment or hogging bending moment. Okay. So therefore plus VA into 10, this perpendicular distance is 10 meters, and then minus HA. So HA, again this is inducing hogging. HA is inducing hogging moment about C, therefore minus HA into 10, so this is also 10, and then this UDL 50 into, it is 10 meter, half of 10 is 5 meter, so 50 into 10 into 5. So if you simplify it and substitute the value of VA, so that will be equal to 500 into 10 minus 10 HA minus 2500, that is equal to 0. So that which gives a value of HA as 250 kilonewton. So from equation 1 we have HA is equal to HB, therefore HB is also equal to 250 kilonewton. So that completes the calculation of reactive components of VAHA and VBHB. So now we will calculate the total net reactive reactions. So that is calculated as RA RB. RA is equal to root of VA square plus HA square. So substitute the values of VA and HA. VA is 500 and HA is 250. So if you calculate it, RA as well as RB is equal to 559 kilonewton. Because of symmetry, both RA and RB will be same. Okay. And the angle made by RA with respect to horizontal is given by tan inverse of VA by HA. So if you substitute it, tan inverse of VA is 500 and HA is 250, 500 by 250, that will give an angle of 63.43 degrees. So RA or RB is making an angle of 63.43 degrees with respect to horizontal. So that completes the first part, that is the calculation of reactions. So to draw the bending moment diagram, so let us consider AC portion, or you can consider BC portion as well, because we know that bending moment at ABC are 0. So to find the bending moment in between either AC or BC, because of the symmetry you can consider any one portion. So let us consider the AC portion. So let us consider any section X at a distance X from the center line. Okay. So if this is X, then the remaining distance, this one is 10 minus X. Okay. So now bending moment at ABC is 0. So we will write the bending moment at any section X equation. So bending moment at this section is VA into this 10 minus X, positive. This is inducing sagging bending moment, therefore positive. Next, HA into, let us consider this ordinate as YX. So minus HA into YX. This is inducing hogging moment. And then 50 into, you have to consider only this much. Okay, 50 into 10 minus X into 10 minus X by 2. So 10 minus X into 10 minus X by 2. So substitute the values. So which implies 500 into 10 minus X minus HA is 250 into YX minus 50 into 10 minus X whole square by 2. So take it as equation 3. Next, when ordinate at any section X, that is YX, is given by root of R square minus X square. So if you simplify, substitute the value of R, so it will be root of R square minus X square. So substitute into equation 3. So that will be bending moment at any section X will be equal to 500 into 10 minus X minus 250 into YX is root of 10 square minus X square minus 50 into 10 minus X whole square by 2. So if you simplify it, the bending moment at any section X is given by 2500 minus 250 into root of 10 square minus X square minus 25X square. Minus 25X square. Take it as equation 4. So to find the maxima or minima or maximum or minimum value, first we have to locate its position. So to locate the position, we have to differentiate this bending moment equation with respect to X and equate it to 0. So differentiation of this 2500 is 0. Differentiation of minus 25x square is minus 25 into 2x, and differentiation of 250 into root of 10 square minus x square is minus 250 into half of 1 divided by root of 10 square minus x square into minus 2x. Okay, so that is the differentiation. and you equate it to 0. So after simplification you are going to get a value of x as 8.66 meter. So the details of simplification are given in the study material, so you can refer to that one. Okay. So substitute the value of x into equation 4 to get the value of maximum bending moment. So bending moment value is minus 625 kilonewton meter. If you substitute the value of x as 8.66 meter into this equation, so the bending moment at any section is equal to minus 625 kilonewton meter. So now after obtaining this value, we can draw the bending moment diagram. So to draw the bending moment diagram, first let us draw the baseline ABC with its span as 20 meter and rise as 10 meter. We know that bending moment at A, B, C is 0. So bending moment at these points will be 0. Next, bending moment at X as 8.66 meter. So X is always measured from the center. Because of symmetry, whatever bending moment at this portion X we are obtaining, the same moment will be existing in BC portion as well. Okay. So therefore, at a distance of 8.66 meter from the center line, we have the maximum bending moment of 625 kilonewton meter. So because it is subjected to UDL, the variation of bending moment diagram will be parabola. Okay, so the maximum bending moment value is 625 kilonewton meter. So the variation is parabolic and it is negative, therefore mark it with minus sign, hogging bending moment. Okay, so this is the bending moment diagram. This is the bending moment diagram. So we have completed the second part, that is drawing of bending moment diagram. So next is to find the normal thrust and radial shear at D. Okay, so D is at 5 meter from the left end. Okay, so let us mark a distance at 5 meter. So let us write the section up to the 5 meter from the left end. So now we will write the net horizontal force. Net horizontal force, we have only HA. So H is equal to HA, which is equal to 250 kilonewton. Next, net vertical force, that is given by VA minus 50 into 5. VA is in the upward direction and UDL is acting in the downward direction. Therefore, VA minus 50 into 5. So, if you substitute the value of VA 500 minus 50 into 5 is 250. That will be equal to again 250 kilonewton. So, net horizontal as well as vertical forces are equal to 250 kilonewton. Next, we will find the angle theta. Sin theta is equal to x by r, where x is always measured from the center. So radius is 10 meter and if this is 5 meters, so x is equal to 5 meters only. So the remaining length from the center is 5 meter. Therefore, x is equal to 5 by 10. X is 5, radius is 10. Therefore, the value of theta is 30 degrees. Substitute the value of theta into normal thrust and radial shear equations. So normal thrust is calculated as h cos theta plus v sin theta. Substitute the values of h, v and theta. So 250 cos 30 plus 250 sin 30, both are positive. Okay, so substitute and simplify. You will get the normal thrust value as 341.5 kilonewton. And radial shear is calculated as V cos theta minus H sin theta. So if you substitute it, 250 cos 30 minus 250 sin 30, that will be equal to 91.5 kilonewton. So that is how the normal thrust and radial shear at point D is calculated, and this is the difference between the analysis of circular arches which supports at same level as well as semicircular arches which supports at same level. Only thing, there is a change in the calculation of radius as well as the ordinate y. Okay, all other procedure and equations will be same. Okay, so that is for today's session. Thank you. In the next session we will take up circular arches with supports at different level. Thank you.